Welcome to Iceland. The stark beauty of this landscape has more to offer than meets the eye. It holds the key to environmental sustainability, both for this small island nation and the world at large. We, the students of T, decided to explore the implications of renewable energy in Iceland because of our concern for the natural world and the future of global environmental sustainability. Our journey took us all the way from the main city Reykjavik to the far south of the island where the biggest glacier lies. First, we explored the coast of the island in the dark. We walked on the Continental Divide. This geologically unique island is the only place where a mid-ocean ridge can be seen on land. This country is some of the newest land on Earth, formed when the North American and the Eurasian tectonic plates pulled apart. It also happens to be directly above a volcanic hotspot.
I love this country so much, and I really want to come back here and live here and study at the university in Reykjavik if I get the chance. I really like the culture, and the geology of Iceland is really interesting to me.
I will never forget the ferry ride to the Vestman Islands, because that was an experience. But more specifically, actually pulling up to Jaime, the largest Vestman Island, and seeing the huge volcanic cliffs and the gulls and just that feeling of excitement that not only were we in Iceland, but we were visiting this incredible, unique island chain off the coast as well.
I'll never forget standing on top of that active volcano in the Westman Islands, almost getting blown off the hill by the extreme winds, which probably were over 70 or 80 miles an hour, because I have experienced winds about that and these felt even stronger.
The fact that Iceland is on a mid-ocean ridge and also over a hotspot in the mantle, this is really interesting because it causes all of the volcanic and geothermal activity on Iceland.
Iceland's location helps make it the most sustainable country in the world, but this hasn't always been the case. Until the oil crisis of the 1970s, Iceland imported nearly all of its energy in the form of fossil fuels. But once they decided to push forward with renewable energy, they never looked back. 90% of all homes in Iceland are heated using geothermal water, which saves millions of dollars a year compared to the fossil fuel heat.
What do you think about Iceland?
I think Iceland's a very interesting country based on its geologic past/present due to the volcanic activity on the island. Also, the incredibly rich glacial history of the island is very interesting.
I got to see a huge chunk of history kind of right before my eyes, and I got to go inside part of it.
Well, the climate history of Iceland, so about 20,000 years ago, Iceland was fully under an ice sheet, and in this gradual period of warming over the past 20,000 years within the natural cycle, Iceland has lost most of its glaciation, which is normal for the natural cycle of the Earth. But now that the CO2 in the atmosphere has exceeded the natural amounts, Iceland's glaciers over the next few hundred years will melt considerably faster, and in the next 500 years, almost all of Iceland's glaciers will be gone.
There's so much energy in the, just under the crust that we could provide the whole world with energy for multiple thousands of years. Because obviously, like, America is on tectonic plates as well, but those tectonic plates are going to
they're
like
going this way.
So the renewable energy we have here is so much more easily accessible because it's moving apart.
Right.
So that's actually why Iceland is a prime country for this. No, but it's part of the Paris Agreement, so we're really looking into it. Like Norway did it amazingly. They just started lowering taxes on electric cars and doubling on the taxes of gas cars, and then slowly but surely it just happens naturally. So by 2025 there should be no gas cars anymore.
This past November, Truckee, California became the 50th U.S. city to pledge to operate on 100% clean, renewable electricity by the year 2030. This localized movement to transition to renewable energy is an attempt to stay on course with the expectations of the Paris Climate Agreement, an integral international resolution on battling climate change. Iceland is drastically different from Truckee, from culture to geographic location. It's easy to focus on what separates us, but it is more important to recognize the key feature that brings us together: our community. Both Truckee and Iceland consist of a small, tight-knit community of individuals with a common goal. While we may not have the same resources as the renewable wonderland that is Iceland, we can make the decision to push our town into the future. With the proper political support, we can create a lasting impact just as the Icelanders have. Tackling climate change takes a social system willing to change. We must transition from old to new, from destructive to benefactory, from limited to limitless. It is time to come together and do what is right.
All right, skip it.
Frozen lake, skipping rocks.
Here we go.
Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, that was a couple.
Send.
That kind of worked.